Yeah, I think so.
It's WrestleMania weekend, finally! Damn it! But I
Yes.
digress. Hello, everybody. Are you ready for tonight? As the hype is real, welcome finally to WrestleMania. And with me in this quick hype panel are my horsemen of predictions. Shout out to Mark Griffith. I know he always deals with technology, but brother, you're with us in spirit. Good luck to you, Christopher Ross, Mark Griffith, and Jeff Chadwick. I'm so glad to do this pre-show. I hype you before the actual pre-show where I get ready to call the festivities tonight on the Championship Network Multiverse of Mia. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out our play call with me and JJ Williams for NXT Stand Delivered. And your predictions still matter too. I left the form open, description down below. You got till 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to make everything absolutely final. But Jeff, Chris, here we are. It's the 1 day, 2 days now a year, the Immortal Showcase, the biggest grand spectacle in the world of sports entertainment and pro wrestling. This is our Super Bowl, our Mecca in this foundation. Are you both ready to go?
I'm
Oh,
ready to go.
I'm ready. The question is, are you ready?
How dare you ask me that question considering I've called this stuff already? So I think you got your answer. So with that being said, let's get ready to talk about it. So, as we know, they gave us a lineup finally for our Saturday, and we know it will be headlined with our opener for the United States Championship. And that, folks, is what's ahead tonight on Saturday as WrestleMania comes to you across the Peacock, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a 2-hour kickoff. We got the Fatal 4-Way Men's Showcase. We got Rey Mysterio, Mysterio, Seth Rollins with Logan Paul. We got the 6-women tag. We got the Usos defending the gold against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and we got Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, and in our opening bout, it is John Cena versus Austin Theory. Without further ado, let's just kick right into it. So let's go ahead and talk about John Cena versus Austin Theory. John Cena, multiple-time United States champion. Austin Theory using John Cena for his own expense. Will be A-Town down, or will the Theory play not as a spoiler, but as a victim? John Cena warns him, and I feel the proverbial golden shovel might be put in him if he's not careful. But Austin Theory, he's brash, he's younger, he's arrogant, and we also know he's calculated. So that being said, to the biggest John Cena fan I know, Chris, what's your thoughts on this match?
My thoughts on this match is going to be good. The last time John Cena, and here's a little backstory. John Cena fought against the Big Show at his first WrestleMania for the United States Championship and won it.
That's right, WrestleMania 20.
That was the opening match, and Cena won. Now look back to this year's. Goes in tonight, the opening match against Austin Theory. Well, I'm going to tell you this. He is going to lose tonight, John Cena, because I'm going for A-Town down. Austin Theory is going to retain the United States Championship tonight. And the big question is, who is going to dethrone Austin Theory as United States champion? We got to find out and see. There's like some Montez Ford could get that shot. Johnny Gargano could get that shot. Or if Triple H has something up his sleeve, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Jay White debut tonight and we get Jay White Austin Theory feud.
That's a hot take. I want to give a quick shout out to the entire family that is part of this Simply Predicting expedition. 97 plus of you have put in your predictions, including but not limited to my ATW crew, FTW Productions, Death Beecham Network family. We got Meltdown. We got our Horsemen. We got Team No DQ. We got Nicholas Kelly. We got Joe Raymond. We got Ronnie Cole. We got Nick. We got Don. We got Gina. We got Dustin. We got Bacon Space, my favorite name ever. Adrian Hennigan, Alistair, Rob Key, and of course, my friends that are there live and clean, Sienna, SC, Chanel, and of course, my friend ATW, now wrestler Mary J, Queen of ATW, Megan Chiba. I wish everybody the absolute best. I hope they enjoy the show. Shout out to Josh Shea as well. Well, Jeff, so far it seems like a lot of people believe A-Town down. 75% out of this pool of over 100 people now. And 24% do go with the 16-time world champion. Might I add, I believe this will be his fifth United States championship if he wins it, and he ties Ric Flair for it too. And so I can fact check me on that. It's either 5 or 6, but again, I'm tired. Jeff, your thoughts on this contest?
Well, first of all, I'm enjoying my Steve Austin's Broken Skull American Lager. Gotta have that. Gotta have that. Um, oh, there we go. G0. That's a good choice.
Nice.
I think personally that, in a match such as this, they're not going to have Cena take the victory because of the simple fact is he's going to put his opponent over. And it's kind of like passing the torch, so to speak.
Right.
I think this kind of match. So I see Austin Theory leaving there, still the United States champion, and I do like the idea, Chris, of Gargano, because we know the history, we know the story with the Way and Austin Theory. So Gargano seems like a perfect choice for his next opponent.
There you go. And of course, there's been some talk with me and JD about who could face off in the United States Championship next, whether John Cena does surprise us. But again, stay tuned for more of that on the Castle 18 Studios side of things. And also, please subscribe and super chat and support Castle 18 Studios as we bring you play-by-play coverage and our own pre-show following this little Horseman hype tonight. All right, let's keep going into this thing and let's talk about what we will see across 4 main tag teams in the men's tag team division, or thereof, some of the makeshift. But as we've seen on SmackDown and Raw, they definitely have us shown out, and this could be quite a spectacle to say the least. I would say showcase as well. As we have 4 teams here, we have the Street Profits, Braun Strowman and Ricochet, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders in what's being called a men's WrestleMania showcase. We've seen their particular faces and heels dynamics in tag team action 4-on-4 on both Raw and SmackDown. Favored right now seems to favor more so a face side, but again, Viking Raiders, they are right now, I feel like, the dark horses in this and also the wild card for most people. I've seen a lot of people actually go with them and change their pick to that. A majority, though, do want the smoke while going also with the big and small man dynamic of Braun Strowman and Ricochet. That being said, Jeff Chadwick, I'm not going to shush you. I know he's probably going to try and shush us tonight, but what's your thoughts on this 4-way men's showcase tag match?
Well, I know I had originally picked the Viking Raiders to take this one, and I then switched it to Ricochet and Strowman on the latest form that I had sent you.
Right.
After, and this is probably, mind you, prior to SmackDown. After what I seen on SmackDown, I might want to change it back, because usually any team that gets the victory prior to the pay-per-view does not come out the victor. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, I kind of have to change it back to the Viking Raiders. I mean, I know the Street Profits, they're on a roll, but there has been talk of them going their separate ways and doing solo careers. So that's still out there on the table. That could happen. As far as Strowman and Ricochet, the only reason I think personally that they're together is the fact that they formed a bond during that tournament to decide who was going to take on Gunther. And they found themselves with a common enemy. So that to me is the only reason I see those two together. And I don't think this team is going to last. So that's why I don't kind of have them in the picture anymore. As far as Alpha Academy, who knows what's happening with them? I mean, you've got Otis now going is kind of like straying away a little bit to be kind of with Maximum Male Models. So I don't know what's going on there, but I don't really see them picking up the victory tonight. However, you have Valhalla now in the corner of the Viking War Raider experience, whatever you want to call them. The many names that they've gone through. I think personally, I'm going to change it back to the Viking Raiders because I believe the Valhalla is going to play a part in this match. And I think the Viking Raiders are due for a tag team title opportunity, especially with the new aura, I guess you could say, that they bring to the table. Right. I think this is their golden moment. So I will redo the form by 6 o'clock, and I'm switching it back to the Viking Raiders.
Viking Raiders definitely have gone up in percentage. They are definitely third favorite here, 17% versus last I saw they were down to like 8%. Barely anybody's going with Alpha Academy. 3 people it looks like. Chris, where do you stand on this 4-way tag dance?
Well, I know in the betting odds they have the Street Profits winning this. I don't see them winning it at all because I feel with these 4 teams, it's all about number 1 contendership for the tag team championships.
Right.
A fair take.
Street Profits are faces. So if Kevin Owens and Sammy does win tonight, then you can't have a face versus a face. Braun Strowman, Ricochet, I don't see lasting. And Ricochet won last night in the Fatal 4-Way. And that kind of said, if you got the upper hand on a go-home show before a premium live event, you don't technically win on the PLEs. Alpha Academy, they're gonna go on their separate ways. I was listening on the ladies of the ladies show, and I enjoyed that show so much.
I appreciate that.
I went with the Viking Raiders to win this match, and the thing is this is the Viking Raiders' first WrestleMania, and if you debut, you got to go big or go home. And I feel the Viking Raiders are due for that win and due for a tag team championship run. So I'm going with the Viking Raiders to pull this off.
All right, that's a fair take, and I gotta agree at this point. The Viking Raiders, they are the sleeper pick here. It's not out of the realm of possibility to see a team win in their debut. When the Viking Raiders had their first chance at the actual NXT Tag Team Championships at the first NXT Takeover, they beat the Undisputed Era's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, I believe. And the Viking Raiders are heavily accoladed in tag team wrestling, even before the WWE. What's up, Dwayne? Good to see you. I hope everybody's enjoying this little hype panel. So I'm with you. So far, we are unanimous so far in these first 2 matches for the United States Championship and the men's Fatal 4-Way Showcase. All right, well, now let's go ahead and change the dynamic from the men to the women. And why it's not a showcase, I still would call it a showcase because if nothing else, we're going to get some satisfaction. As we have Damage Control going up against the current WWE Women's Tag Team Champions in Becky Lynch and Lita, accompanied by now Trish Stratus. And of course, we know this all stems off the fact that Trish Stratus played a heavy part in allowing Becky Lynch and Lita to take the titles off of Damage Control. But as we've seen lately, Damage Control could be damaged goods and might have more damage than meets the eye. And based on this result, it might be the very last time we see these 3 coexist. That being said, Chris, your thoughts on this match?
This is actually one of those. I was actually torn on this last night when SmackDown went off the air and I was figuring out this form. I was going back and forth with this, and I know the betting odds have Becky, Lita, and Trish for the win. And personally, I could see this going either way. If Becky, Lita, and Trish win, I see after the match Trish Stratus turning heel. Because The Miz hit the nail on the button on Monday saying you're going to be a backup to Becky. And I believe they were hinting at the heel turn And this will play into where they're going to have Trish and Becky at WrestleMania. No, not at WrestleMania, but at SummerSlam.
Botched, but accurate, probably. Continue.
But when we get Becky versus Trish, if you want the heel turn to happen, you could do it after the match, or you could do it on the Raw after WrestleMania.
Right.
As of now, I picked in the form Lita, Trish, and Becky. I know Lita, she hasn't won a WrestleMania match before.
Right.
That's right.
That's a heavy factor to think about.
Yeah.
And personally, like my heart does want to go with Becky Lynch and Trish, but overall, do you guys really think Damage Control is going to break up after WrestleMania?
Considering that Damage Control, the only control they had was the Women's Tag Team Championships for 2 short runs, and Bayley has had 3 chances at the Raw Women's Championship and came up short, I feel like the results speak for themselves. And this result right here could be the final nail in the coffin, proverbially speaking.
Right.
Personally, I'm just going to stick with Becky, Lita, and Trish, and hopefully afterwards, Trish turns heel. I know I got till 6 o'clock to think about.
Yeah, exactly. TikTok, by the way, is right now everyone's got 45 minutes, period. Then I'm closing the form for the entire weekend. And Dwayne, that includes you because you didn't submit. That being said, Jeff, I just saw you resubmit again. Now, whether or not you're changing more than one match, that remains to be seen. But as far as the 6-woman tag, I'm on the pull of near over 100. Moreover, they are going with Lita, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch. If nothing else, I feel the Legends moniker can play a heavy factor here. Then again, we did saw what happened when the Rock and Sock connection came back at WrestleMania 20. So who knows? And Bayley has not been involved in a WrestleMania now for the last few years in a wrestling capacity. It still surprised me they didn't pull the trigger and do Trish Stratus versus Bayley. Maybe that's something to consider at some point too. But what's your thoughts on this match, Jeff?
Well, seeing as though it's Lita's first match back, as far as pay-per-view wise for a while, same with Trish. And now knowing what Chris has said, and I completely forgot about that Lita has never had a WrestleMania win. Mm-hmm. This is the golden opportunity for her to have a victory. And Damage Control, I'm sorry, the hype was there when they first got together. It hasn't been there for a long time. So the breakup I could see, and I could see Io and Dakota turning on Bayley. I don't see Bayley becoming a face. I see Dakota and Io becoming a face. So if that does happen, that's, if that situation arises, that's how I see it. As far as the match goes, this one I kept the same. As far as I know, the only one I changed was that one match with the Viking Raiders. So this one I've got to go with Becky, Trish, and Lita. Not only are they tag champions, but as Chris stated, Lita's never won a WrestleMania match. So this is a golden opportunity to rectify that. So this would be their WrestleMania moment. So I've got the champs and Trish Stratus taking the victory on this.
Yeah, I just feel like Lita is overdue for a WrestleMania moment. I know she had a chance at at one point against Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship prior to last year's WrestleMania, and that was a big moment in history for women, especially there, considering the circumstances in that third world country that I'm not going to get into because I'm not political. But I feel overall, when I look at this field, it's a major moment. Bayley is facing off against Trish. I could definitely see that face up there. There are subtle teases that Trish wants to work with Becky, and I have heard rumblings about that match at SummerSlam. So if all that is going to come to play, and I do think that Dakota Kai is more capable of being a singles competitor, and we saw what Sky did with Becky one-on-one. I feel it's time for Damage Control to go their separate ways, and Dwayne, I will validate that here in a moment. All right, well, as we keep on looking down through night one, now we're going to get into some stuff that's a little personal, and we'll start with this identity crisis that Seth freaking Rollins is going to remind Logan Paul exactly who he freaking is, as the Architect goes up against the Maverick in one-on-one action. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul, but will it take one lucky punch for the third time around for Logan Paul to knock Seth's lights out, or will Seth freaking Rollins burn it down and curse stomp Logan Paul into oblivion? So, Chris, what's your thoughts on this celebrity showcase? It's WrestleMania. I know Logan Paul currently is signed as of this moment, but I'm just saying, if he's not around for the long haul, then what does he have to gain with a win here besides just another insult to the WWE Universe? He's already impulsive enough. What's your thoughts?
Well, we got the social media megastar versus the Visionary. This is the match I'm actually going to look forward to. I feel they're going to steal the show tonight. And what we saw out of Logan Paul in his first 3 matches in WWE last year, teaming with The Miz and defeating the Mysterios. And then at SummerSlam, Miz and Logan Paul. And then we got Logan took Roman Reigns to the limit at Crown Jewel. And then Ashley, his fourth match was in the Royal Rumble match. And he eliminated Seth Rollins to start their feud up. I know Logan has one lucky shot left. And personally, in the forum, I picked Seth freaking Rollins. And personally, I am going to pick Seth freaking Rollins because the last time Seth won a WrestleMania was back in WrestleMania 35 in 2019 against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. And Seth lost against Cesaro. Lost to Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and last year to Cody Rhodes. 3 straight WrestleManias he have lost. He's going to finally win tonight. Seth freaking Rollins for the win, and everybody can sing. Oh,
not copyright. Do that when he conducts it live. All right. That's a fair take. Jeff, moreover, I think people are just sick of Logan Paul. The fact at one point that WWE was trying to force feed Logan Paul as a face, including filtering out a heavily booed active audience that I was a part of live here in Toledo, Ohio at a SmackDown, the Logan Paul experiment failed. Yes, he is more than capable of what he can do in the ring. He's proved that. But no one, I mean nobody, gives a damn about this man. So Jeff Chadwick, is this the way we send Logan Paul off into the sunset? Does he get curb stomped into oblivion and we never see him again? And even if we do see him again, do you see Seth Rollins coming out on top? Because over 90% of this 100-plus poll does.
Yeah, I think that, first of all, with Seth Rollins, he was on a losing streak there on pay-per-view wise for the biggest amount of time, and now he's starting to turn it around. So congrats on that. As far as Logan is concerned, he doesn't exactly have a winning record. He's 1-2. I'm not counting the Rumble. So, because that one, it's hard to really put in the win-loss column on the Rumble match. So,
right.
I think he's 1-2. So he doesn't have a very good record.
Right.
I think for the long haul, though, they want to sign him. He wants to be in the WWE, and this isn't just a fact of the matter of making an appearance here and appearance there. I think for the long haul, Logan Paul wants to be in the WWE. So whether he wins or whether he loses, I don't think that's going to play a part on his future with the company. I understand it's Logan Paul's birthday today. However,
on April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I mean the Fool's April.
What a day to be born on, by the way.
Right. The joke is going to be on him because Seth freaking Rollins is going to come out of WrestleMania with the victory tonight.
All right, well there you go. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to enjoy that birthday gift. It's just a matter of how many curb stomps. 1, 2, 3. You tell me.
Have them all wrapped.
Yeah, they're all gift wrapped with like this weirdest pair of boots Seth Rollins will wear since the Pac-Man boots, probably.
You got it.
Oh, good Lord Almighty. Well, I gave 3 digits, so why don't we go ahead and talk about a man that's all about 3 digits that was honored last night at the Hall of Fame and looks to handle business tonight. And Jeff, you're starting this one off as it's finally going to happen. It is father versus son. The WWE Hall of Famer, the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio, goes one-on-one against his own flesh and blood at Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio. We've seen how personal this has gotten, especially when it comes down to the fact that Dominic Mysterio, let me put this in perspective that people can understand, a son bucked up to their mother. The fact that the mom did not slap the taste out of Dominic's mouth shows me how disappointed and how much restraint she has, especially after how much Rey Mysterio endorsed Angie. God bless her. So that being said, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. My short little 5 foot some odd high Italian, German, Native American melting pot mom would kick my ass if I ever did anything close to what Dominic Mysterio has done in and out of the ring, including invading the family itself. and getting arrested for it. And I'm surprised that he didn't do anything last night. But then again, I feel like someone more dangerous than Dominic's own mother is probably Conan. That being said, Jeff, go ahead, talk about the story a little bit and give us your thoughts for this match. Again, is this the way Rey Mysterio humbles Dominic, or is this the way Dominic sends Mysterio off into the sunset?
First of all, let me just say right off the record, the speech last night at the Hall of Fame was absolutely amazing.
I agree.
It just, I thought it was funny to start off. Dominic, Rhea, they walk in, and Damian walk off, and he's like, "It's okay. I'll handle business tomorrow night." So here we are. It is tomorrow night, and I think that personally, I got a gut feeling that with what happened Monday, to create this match, I think that for some reason I've got a gut feeling Angie's going to play a part in this. If it's not Angie, it might be Conan, because Conan's still there.
Oh, God.
It would be funny if Conan had a part in this, because as we all know the backstory, Conan is the one who brought Rey into WCW, which is where his stardom really went through the roof.
After his time at Tijuana, of course.
Right, and Tijuana and ECW.
ECW.
So I think that if anyone was going to play a part in this match, I don't see it being so much Judgment Day and possibly Damian Priest, because he's the only one not scheduled. But I see it more on the side of revenge, whether it be Angie and the way Dominic treated her on during that the setup for this match, or it could even be so much as Conan, even just making an appearance, could distract him long enough to cost Dominic the match. On the other hand, as I said, you got Dominic, you got the Judgment Day. Damian doesn't have a match. He's going to be at ringside. So if he's at ringside, someone is going to be in Rey Mysterio's corner.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. Bottom line. Otherwise, this is going to go to Dominic. I originally said Dominic way back when we did our first show. I have since changed it to Rey. I think that especially with the momentum, and I'm talking momentum as far, not the punch turned out around the world. I'm talking about the speech. This could be his final hurrah. And if it is, you don't want Rey Mysterio to go down with a loss. I don't think any competitor in their last match really wants to go down with a loss. Because you're going to find him back. Case in point, Trish Stratus. She retired with a loss. Now she's back. Even if it is as a special attraction, she's back. Ray's got things wants to focus on outside of wrestling, and I think it's great that he's that he wants to do all this stuff. And it's whether it be charities or whether it be maybe helping the youngsters come up, in the business. He's got goals, he's got ideas and thoughts and everything he wants to go through. So I see Rey Mysterio taking this match, but it isn't without somebody distracting Dominic. That's the key thing. Who? That's the question. Could be Angie. It could be Conan. Hell, it could be Legado del Fantasma.
Now, no, that's like over an order after Friday Night SmackDown.
Exactly. It could very well be them too. So either way you look at it, we've got plenty of people that can be in Ray's corner, because we know Damian's going to be in Dominic's. So I've got Rey taking this. Good way to go out on top, beat your son, prove that he's nothing but a punk.
Yeah.
And I think that this, even with the loss that Dominic would take, it will not hurt him. In fact, I think this is going to carry his career up into new heights. And I think it's more so with a loss than it will a win. So I've got Rey taking this one.
All right, fair take. Chris, the polls so far of over 100 actually are in majority favor And by majority, I mean it's 50 or 40 to 60, 40 60, excuse me, bleh, of Dominic.
60-40.
Yeah, that's 60
Oh.
40. You know what I mean. Of Dominic. And the way I see it is this: Dominic Mysterio singles WrestleMania type match encounter. Remember, the last time he was involved in WrestleMania was a tag encounter with his father. It was a far-some dynamic. They lost last year against the duo of Logan Paul and The Miz. The Miz is the host of WrestleMania. Congrats to him. But that being said, we've seen how far Dominic Mysterio has kind of grown into his own. The character more so better defined than I feel like his in-ring capabilities. And now he's taking on the very father that literally taught him some of these moves in the first place. I feel that there's a point that a son wants to step out of their father's shadow, especially when it comes to a wrestling family's legacy. So, Chris, does Dominic Mysterio succeed, or does Rey Mysterio remind him why he has been not only the master of 619, but also the master of basically his authority?
Well, you got to look at this. This is Triple H's first WrestleMania.
Mhm.
And I personally believe you got two members of Judgment Day competing tonight at WrestleMania.
Right.
And you want maybe one or even both of them to win tonight. This is going to be personal to watch. And you guys all hit good points about Angie. Maybe even Dom's sister, Aaliyah. Person, she's gorgeous as all could be. And then you also got Conan, and you got Latina Ward Order to be in Rey Mysterio's corner. So there's a lot of possibilities. But yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. And the reports I'm hearing is Rey wants to retire before the age of 50.
Very close to that.
Yeah.
And personally, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. And if this is his last hurrah, and if he is going to retire, you got to lose. But if you lose, you still be on top of your career. No matter what, Dominic wants to get out of his father's shell and go on his own. That's why tonight I'm going with Dominic Mysterio to defeat Rey Mysterio tonight.
All right. And again, it's a very fair take because, again, you talk about passing the torch, but it's one of those things where I think about passing the torch. Was Rey Mysterio going to willingly hand off his mask to his son? That's why I feel like this is not done. Dominic did what he needed to do to get the match, but what will Dominic have to do to get a rematch if he lost? Is there a bigger story there in Dominic finally trying to overcome his father versus beating him at WrestleMania? When I think about Lucha Libre, when I think about Triple A, I say it all the time. Usually those type of blood feuds end in mask versus hair. In this case, I could literally see it being Dominic's hair versus Rey's career. And Backlash, again, is the next stop. Backlash, how much of a fitting name for that type of fallout based on this result from WrestleMania. That's why I also do believe that Rey Mysterio is going to win this. And also, he's a Hall of Famer. Damn it. He just got into the Hall of Fame last night. If Rey wants to put his son over, it doesn't have to be at WrestleMania. As Oz is saying here, his career is coming to an end, but Dominic's career is just starting. Correct. But you also don't want to send somebody into the spotlight too soon. Is Dominic Mysterio fully ready for that? Because think about this. If it wasn't for the dynamic that he and Rey have produced, would Dominic be where he's at right now?
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah,
So I do think that Rey Mysterio is actually going to pull out this win.
I think that in order to get into that next level where you're ready, you have to work on your mic skills big time. Dominic is still rough in the edge when it comes to mic skills. He's got a lot of work to do. So if they want to get him in the spotlight, they want to get him to that next level. That's the one thing I think that he really needs to work on is his mic skills, his promos, his interviews. Really put a lot of effort into it because that's where he's rough around the edges.
Right. And again, the heat more so carries him versus his actual mic skills. But he is getting better, Oz. I do agree with you. We don't deny the potential. We just don't think the potential is enough to surpass without Rey Mysterio involved in some capacity yet. That's all I'm saying. All right, well, good stuff. We got 2 matches left, and politics aside, we talk about what should be the main event of night 1. I'm just going to say this and leave it where it stands. The women's division has been billed rather lightly underrated, all right? You figure about the Royal Rumble winner, you figure about the person that she's going after. A match 3 years in the making. And then you think about this match because I don't give a damn. I believe in the Royal Rumble fanatics. We're going to talk about this next. You think about this match that has the chance to steal night 1. And Chris, you're starting off. As the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championships are on the line as Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens looks to take the gold away from the Usos. And we all saw the go home angle. They left it all out there. The confrontation that was on Friday Night SmackDown. And it comes down to 2 words based on what we heard. There's blood versus loyalty. And the way I see it is, which one is stronger? 2 brothers born by blood or 2 brothers loyal to each other in the professional wrestling industry? Chris, your thoughts on this match and who you got? And again, they call it Bloodline Mania. Could the bloodline finally run dry? And is this the first step in doing that?
Well, this is also another match I'm looking forward to the most tonight. Is this tag team championship match. Personally, I really enjoyed the build up to this match with Sami Zayn turning on the bloodline at the Royal Rumble. Then Kevin Owens kept on saying to Sami, I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't trust you. All that mumble jumble stuff. And finally, Cody Rhodes was the one to put them back together again. And personally, they have done great stuff as a tag team over the years, like Ring of Honor. They have done stuff as a tag team. The last time they teamed up together in WWE, they lost against Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania 34 in 2018.
That's right.
And now put in full circle, you got Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn fighting to become tag team champions, and Kevin Owens has never held tag team gold before in WWE, and this will complete his Grand Slam of Champions here tonight. And I know multiple times I went with the Usos in multiple of videos on this panel, but I'm going to say
I'm going to pause you real quick because we just got a hot line. Ladies and gentlemen, the tag titles are your main event tonight.
Wow.
Yes.
Damn. Anyway, beep, continue.
That is, personally, I knew that was the main event all along.
It's had the hottest build.
Thank God it is. And personally, now this will be the second time that a tag team match main event a WrestleMania. The first time was the first WrestleMania, and it was a tag team match featuring Hulk Hogan and
Mr. T.
Mr. T versus who they faced?
Piper and Orndorff.
Orndorff.
And now a tag team championship is being in the main event. The tag team champs has never been in the main event at a premium live event.
Time ever.
Yep.
So I'm going to say it right now. We are the twos, but Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are the ones to dethrone the Usos and become the new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions.
Jeff, let's put it in context here because Oz makes a very compelling point. We do want Cody to win, but we wonder if finishing the story defines the only as Cody. The WrestleMania as a whole is literally surrounding the outlook of the bloodline and whether they stay as they are or they change forever or fall altogether. And again, it's like this. Bloodline is main eventing each freaking night. And we're starting with the tag team championships. And I don't blame Oz. I feel like a lot are conflicted. Now more people might even be conflicted. One bloodline match a win versus the Laws, both being a sweep. Can that even happen? Can we truly see the bloodline fall as a whole? Honestly, everybody majority almost went with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens here. 94%. But there are 6 brave souls that still believe that the Usos will remain as the ones on top of the tag team division. So not only are we predicting the state of the tag team championships, we are predicting the state of the bloodline in Act 1. So, Jeff, what's your thoughts?
Well, first off, I got to say that Stat Boy now has competition because Mr. Rotz has done his work. He's done he's very well done. So I kind of want to see how the two of them face off, person to person. Might have to do a trivia thing in the future. We'll see. Anyway, first off, I think having them as main event is a slap in the face to Rhea Ripley. She won the Women's Royal Rumble, giving her the right to main event. Now they took it away from her. Now what? It just that's a slap in the face, as you're going to see right there. Yeah, I think that moving this to the main event is a bad move. And how is Rhea going to react? Not so much Charlotte, but how is Rhea going to react? That's the key thing. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But it is what it is. Thank you, Daddy Meltzer. Hate you. Anyway. I can't stand Daddy Dave. Tell me about it. I
gotta say nothing.
No, that's okay. I did for you. This match here is, I do agree, is main event status. I will agree with that. The Usos now have a disadvantage going into WrestleMania after one hell of a promo that Zayn and Owens had on SmackDown.
Right.
This is where the advantage literally went from the Usos directly to Zayn and Owens. So I think in the long run, it makes sense if you're going to take the title off of Roman on night 2, which we all pretty much think is going to happen. Right. You got to take the titles off of the Usos because, as Cody said in his interview or in his segment, Jay could leave the family.
Good.
Jimmy could leave the family. Solo could leave the family. What's that leave? He has no more family, and Paul would be nothing but an advocate again. This is a possible final chapter for this scenario, for the story that we've enjoyed the last year. I have thoroughly enjoyed this. And now that it's come down to literally the last minute, Owens and Zayn, best friends beats brothers. Well, I got news for you. Best friends, they are like brothers. And you can't get any more brotherly without technically being brothers than Sami and Kevin. They've gone up and down the road together, starting in yes, they were in Montreal, started in the Los Angeles area. That's where they really got their career kicked off.
Right.
They've gone through the Indies. They've gone through many different companies. They've gone through NXT. They're on the main roster. They're back together. And they are focused and they are as one, just as one as you can possibly get, like being brothers, legit bloodline brothers. So what do we got? We got Sami and Owen leaving as your new tag team champions.
It does make you wonder, since this is the only bloodline related match, will Roman be watching? Will Roman be acknowledging the result if the Usos lose? If the Usos lose, will they even play a part or be exiled from even being involved in night 2? Because then it really does fall on Roman Reigns to lead by example. For the Island of Relevancy to still exist in any condition, then Roman Reigns would have to freaking win. Otherwise, the bloodline comes to an end. Chris, you do have a thought?
Well, I want to add something to this. Tonight, Sami Zayn is going to become the first Muslim to compete in the main event of WrestleMania. And this is also breaking news to you guys from Zero News on Twitter. Says a source has advised us that Logan Paul has signed a 2-year extension with the WWE.
There we go. There we go.
Well, 15 minutes to change predictions, folks, if you want to, because it sounds like Logan Paul is around to stay. April Fools. He's not going anywhere. Jeez.
Happy birthday.
That's true. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, good discussion. We got one more match to talk about. And again, WrestleMania booking might not give it a her. We're going to, because damn it, she deserves it. And Jeff, you kick this one off as we close out our little pre-show hype, just under maybe the 10 till actual pre-show start time. I hope everyone's enjoyed this so far. As we talk about the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Rhea Ripley, going one-on-one for the one title she has yet to win for the Grand Slam. A 3-year road to redemption since WrestleMania 36 against the Queen, Charlotte Flair, for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It is brutality versus self-entitled, maybe born for greatness, loyalty. Jeff, it's not the main event, but it damn sure is a long time coming. Yes. If we get the results I'm thinking. And by the way, I agree with you both. I think Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to take it too. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, as we know, 3 years ago, Charlotte Flair defeated Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's Championship at WrestleMania 36. Yep. The one that nobody saw because it happened.
Except the WWE's biggest fan.
And pretty much, except the cameraman and all that. But it was at a time when the pandemic was, it was just really kicking off. And we all know how that's pretty much ended up. And every superstar on every roster still went to work. They still put on a show. Why? Because they want to do so for their fans. If they can't be there live, at least they can do it for the fans at home. Right. And I give each and every one kudos for doing that, whether it be WWE, whether it be AEW, whether it be no matter what company it was that was putting on television shows, they were doing it for the fans. So I got to commend them. This is Rhea's revenge. We all know that 3 years ago, Charlotte left with the title. This year, even though, and I still think this is a slap in the face, because not only did you take away the main event for the Royal Rumble winner, you took away a woman's main event. That's the big thing. And that's more so why I'm so ticked.
Don't blame
you. I could care less if it was Charlotte. It could have been Bianca and Ripley. If Ripley went that direction, I would still be pissed. Either way, Ripley is going to leave the women's champion. Why? Because Judgment Day will need a win. Somehow, some way. If you got possibly Dominic losing, and you got possibly the Demon losing, you need something to keep that faction going. By doing so, you have Rhea Ripley winning the women's title, making it even more of a threat. Where it was before pretty much done in the dust, now you actually have a contending faction. So I think Rhea taking this, it's very important, not only to the faction, not only for the company, but for her. We saw Buddy Matthews was actually at the Hall of Fame last night, sitting beside Rhea, who was beside Dom. That was kind of awkward. But anyway, we saw him there. So we know he's there this weekend to cheer Rhea on. I think that's going to be the boost that she really needs, especially with this new news that was brought to us about the women's title match being taken from the main event. So I think with the support of Buddy there, I think that this is going to be Rhea's night. I think this is where revenge is a best dish served cold, and it's always sweeter when you get revenge. And that's exactly what you're going to see tonight. And you're going to have a brand new SmackDown Women's Champion, folks. Bottom line.
Well put. 5 people disagree with you, while 95% absolutely agree with you about Mommy bringing her brutality and dethroning royalty. Orale. And again, yep, it's all about the creative marketing, damn it. But it does make me laugh when you think about Sasha Banks, Bianca Belair with the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania 37, and Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair with not even main event on night 1 of WrestleMania 38, and WrestleMania night 1 in 36 didn't have a women's main event at all in any capacity. So yeah, again, principle versus storytelling, I guess you could say. Creative decisions, indecisiveness. Maybe this is why Ronda Rousey is such a hothead in the first place. Well, that's probably not the only reason, but we'll talk more about her tomorrow. Chris, we wrap this up again. 95% with Rhea Ripley, while 5% did go with Charlotte Flair. So again, Charlotte Flair, she's already tied her father. She's not necessarily winning anything to gain. She's just basically humbling Rhea Ripley once again, and once again proving it that it's always bow down to the queen despite that horrible new theme. So I ask you simply this as we close. Does brutality overthrow and humble self-entitled royalty? Does Rhea Ripley beat Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania?
Well, this is going to be a physical and brutal match between these two tonight.
There's no denying that. Let's not forget the Raw Women's Championship as well. Rhea Ripley also lost that against Charlotte Flair. She has lost both the NXT and Raw Women's Championship.
That's right too.
Champion against Charlotte Flair. She's never been SmackDown Women's Champion, but she's never beaten Charlotte Flair one-on-one either.
Right.
And person, we gotta look at this. If Vince was still head of creative, he will put Charlotte winning tonight. Yeah. Knowing Vince, it would have been Charlotte winning this. Since Triple H just took over, this is Triple H's time to build a new star up. And that is Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, the only thing Rhea Ripley has to do is if she wants to be a star in WWE, she has to go through Charlotte Flair tonight. And I believe tonight I did. Let me see. I know.
You got 7 minutes to make your decision. 7
minutes, and I'm making this final tonight. I got to go with my mamacita tonight. I got to go with, in the form I had Rhea Ripley, I am sticking to Rhea Ripley winning tonight, and she will also be a Grand Slam champion tonight because she won the NXT women's, botched that. She won the women's tag team champions with Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
The Raw Women's Championship on her first night. Her first WrestleMania, she won a championship against Asuka. She won the NXT Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler. Now tonight, she finally concludes that, and she becomes a Grand Slam champion. Rhea Ripley dethrones the Queen.
Can I say something real quick?
Please
she already is a Grand Slam champion. She will be the only woman in the WWE to hold all 5 major women's. You forgot the NXT UK Women's Champion.
You did.
She has been that. So she will have the first woman to hit all 5 women's titles in the WWE.
That's right. Rhea Ripley, again, her brutality is around for generations to come.
So this is a chance to make history. This match right here is the chance to make history for Rhea. And what a good way to have a pick-me-up after this letdown my Meltzer, asshole, than to win this title and be the first person to get all 5 major titles for women in the WWE.
I couldn't say it any better than myself. And with that being said, folks, we hope you enjoyed this little hype panel again as WrestleMania Night 1's kickoff show is just mere minutes away. Again, here's your card for tonight. We have the men's 4-way tag team showcase. Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio. Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. Becky Lynch, Lena Trish versus Damage Control. The Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And of course, our opening contest will be John Cena versus Austin Fury. I hope you all enjoyed this discussion, and I hope you all will tune in not only for me and JJ's live call, watch along reactions, and the pre-show there about to occur literally within a couple of minutes across Captain Studios, the Championship Network, Multiverse of Mia. And I also agree, Oz, with that. But also stay tuned for our live play call and then an open mic night as a good old JM Jeff Meacham will be live on location at SoFi Stadium, along with many other friends I know. So Datia, Cindy, Jeff, Lex, to anybody out there in California and the SoFi Stadium, I hope you have an incredible time. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Again, shout out to Mark Griffith, Mark, Chris, Jeff, and everybody involved in the Predictions League. I wish you all the absolute best tonight. That has been our Horsemen of Predictions hype panel for WrestleMania Night 1. We hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Please tune in. Check out the show yourself if you can. There's never been a better time to be a wrestling fan or even a sports entertainment fan. So until tomorrow evening, where you will see definitely at least us three once again bring you in to what's to come for WrestleMania Night 2. This has been the WrestleMania Night 1 Horseman Hype Panel, and I am the Superman Noah Foster. For Christopher Ross, for Jeff Chadwick, thank you for tuning in. Make a positive impact in life. Have a good night, and enjoy WrestleMania. Good luck, guys.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. But I digress. Take care, folks. I'll see you shortly on the Championship Network side of things. Chris and Jeff, been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.